In a burst of urgency, Jinwoo exclaims that he must hurry, his determination clear in every word. Moments later, Adam White steps forward, addressing him formally. "Are you Mr. Sung Jinwoo? It is a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Sung." This meeting sets the stage for the unfolding drama as two figures with contrasting demeanors engage in a brief, yet impactful, exchange. He proceeds to disclose crucial information, knowledge so rare that no single country or institution could match it. Adam also mentions that following a recent raid in Jeju Island, a high-ranking official now insists on meeting Jinwoo face-to-face. Though Jinwoo questions the reliability of these details and decides to deliberate further, Adam reflects that true potential should never be hidden, hinting at the existence of an extraordinary awakened, being capable of enhancing others. Adam White and Jinwoo arrive at their destination. They're greeted by Michael Connor, Deputy Director of the Federal Bureau of Hunters. With a firm handshake, Connor welcomes Jinwoo, while Adam steps in as interpreter. Connor presents immigration documents, normally a process that takes years. But for Jinwoo, an exception is offered, just one word, and he becomes an American citizen instantly. Jinwoo remains focused. He was there because Adam promised valuable information. He hinted on why he was there and that they should proceed. Connor confirms the claim. He signals for someone to enter. A woman steps in, catching Jinwoo off guard. She is Norma Selner, the only known person in the world capable of boosting an awakened being's powers. Selner explains her rare gift. Most hunters can't surpass their natural limits unless they undergo a second awakening, but she can break those limits through a three-stage process. Though unsure what to call it, she can push someone toward their true potential. Connor backs her claim, though notes that her ability takes a toll, allowing her to help only a few people per year. Jinwoo questions the effectiveness. Selner responds that after all three stages, a hunter's strength can increase by 20 to 30%. Jinwoo is stunned. Now he understands why Dong-soo left Korea despite public backlash. That kind of power is impossible to ignore. Connor ends with a warning. If the world knew of her ability, chaos could follow. That's why they protect her, and in return, she strengthens the hunters they choose. Connor presents Jinwoo with a gift, but Jinwoo corrects him, noting it's an offer. Connor explains that, as a Federal Bureau hunter, Jinwoo will be a top priority, receiving exclusive benefits and a guild meeting to sign a top-tier contract. He reassures Jinwoo that no immediate decision is needed, merely easing him into the process. Ms. Selner also confirms this offer as a gift. The conversation shifts when Connor asks if they can boost Jinwoo's limits, with the offer presented as a complimentary service. Connor grins, thinking to himself that the bait had worked, and that Jinwoo would want more after the upgrade. Ms. Selner then locks eyes with Jinwoo, initiating the first step. As she stares into him, she suddenly screams in terror, overwhelmed by the darkness she perceives within him. Chaos ensues as one of the bodyguards draws a gun, but Connor quickly intervenes, scolding them for their recklessness. He apologizes to Jinwoo, explaining the mishap as an agent stepping out of line. Connor scolds the bodyguard, pointing out that such behavior wouldn't have been tolerated by others of high status. Meanwhile, Ms. Selner trembles in fear, prompting Connor to question her well-being. He offers to reschedule, but she's too shaken to respond rationally. In a private conversation after the incident, Connor inquires if Jinwoo's strength rivals that of a national-level hunter. Ms. Selner, however, is disturbed beyond words. She reveals Jinwoo is a king, but no ordinary king. When she looked into his eyes, she saw an infinite abyss. She fears his powers have no limit, leaving everyone uncertain of what they have truly encountered. In a quiet room, the glow of a computer screen lit up Jinho's face. His fingers flew across the keyboard as fury brewed inside him. "Freaking trolls," he barked at the screen. "I won't forgive anyone who slanders Jinwoo. I'm suing all of you. Cry if you want, it won't help." Leaning back with a satisfied grin, Jinho whispered to himself, "Took down another group today. Another batch of haters, gone." Just then, Jinwoo entered, visibly tired. "Thanks for the hard work," he said. "Everything good?" Yes, sir, Jinho replied, then paused. You look rough. What happened? I just came back from a gate. Figured we could use a bit more cash before starting the guild. Jinho's eyes widened at the sight of the essence stones in Jinwoo's hands. Whoa, premium stones? You cleared a high-ranking gate again? You never fail to impress, sir. This should more than cover our first employee. Jinwoo raised a brow. Employee? Jinho nodded. Yeah, remember? We need 3 founding members, a guildmaster, vice master, and 1 more. Even if it's just to meet the head count, it'd be nice to find someone diligent. Jinwoo agreed, then asked if there was anything else to discuss. Jinho's tone shifted. Actually, there's one urgent matter. Have you picked a name for the guild yet? Jinwoo shrugged. I didn't think that was urgent. But to Jinho, it was very urgent. He threw out names like Sung Yu Guild or Yu Sung Guild, attempting to blend their surnames. He even got creative. Wu Ho Guild or Jin Jin Guild. Jinwoo, unfazed, offered his own idea. What about Solo Player Guild? I mostly hunt solo anyway. Jinho looked horrified. Wait, what? Was that a joke? I always thought you were great at everything, but maybe not at naming. Before Jinwoo could reply, a knock interrupted the moment. Jinho opened the door and froze. It was Hae-in. Still in shock, he stepped aside to let her in. What brings you here, Ms. Cha? Jinwoo asked. Her voice was steady. I've come to sign up for your guild. Jinwoo blinked, uncertain he'd heard her right. Let me ask again. What brings you here? You heard me. I want to join your guild. Confused, Jinwoo pressed further. Did Mr. Go put you up to this? Or did Mr. Choi kick you out of the Hunters Guild? No, she replied firmly. He continued. Then why do you want to join the Solo Player Guild? Cha's composure faltered. Solo Player? That's the name? Jinwoo confirmed it, and Jinho interjected with protest. Seriously, sir? You already chose the name without me? You didn't object, Jinwoo shrugged. I took that as approval. But even Jinwoo was unsettled. His thoughts raced. Something's off. She's trying hard to stay calm, but her heart's racing, her breathing's uneven, and she won't meet my eyes. Why does she want to join so badly? He turned serious. Ms. Cha, it's been less than 2 years since you awakened as a hunter. I'm pretty sure your contract with the Hunters Guild isn't over yet. I can afford the penalty, she answered. That caught Jinwoo off guard. She's willing to pay a penalty, he thought, but we can't afford to give her the advance a top-tier hunter deserves. Before he could object, she interrupted. I don't need an advance. Then why go this far? What's your reason? Cha hesitated. Her thoughts drifted to the past, the Jeju Island raid. She remembered the moment she awoke after being knocked unconscious by the Ant King. The first thing she asked was whether Jinwoo had saved her. When Chairman Go nodded, she felt peace and fell back asleep with a smile. How do I explain this without sounding crazy, she wondered. He stood out, like a burst of color in a grayscale world. Blushing deeply, she thought to herself, I want to stay by his side until I draw my last breath. Meanwhile, Jinwoo observed silently. Her face is turning red. She's hiding something. But what? Did she plan all this from the beginning? Frustrated by her silence, he asked again. Are you not going to answer my question? She finally spoke. I want to live a comfortable life. Is that so wrong? No, he replied, though unconvinced. Jinho leaned over and whispered, The Hunters Guild must have worked her to the bone, sir. Jinwoo's mind lingered. She's only 22 or 23. She's carried the burden of being an S-rank hunter, and she's suffered serious injuries on Jeju Island. I feel bad for her, but he stood and addressed her firmly. There's actually an entrance test you'll need to pass to join our guild. She was taken aback. What? But the recruitment post didn't mention anything. New regulation, Jinwoo said casually. Vice Guild Master must have missed it. Jinho, grab some snacks and drinks for our guest. Yes, sir, Jinho replied, dashing out. Cha turned to Jinwoo. What kind of test is it? Jinwoo's eyes narrowed. Is she really serious? Or just being stubborn? He answered plainly. You'll need to defeat one. She didn't flinch. Is that all? You underestimate me, Mr. Sung. Which one will it be? I'll pick the strongest one. Just for you, he replied. Fine by me, she said, eyes full of resolve. At the Hunters Guild, Hae-in asked a direct question. When will the test be held? Without hesitation, Jinwoo responded, Let's do it right now. The gymnasium at the Hunters Association should work, don't you think? But as he considered the distance, another idea sparked. The gymnasium is pretty far, he thought. Maybe I can test if my shadow exchange works on others too. As Cha made her way toward the exit, Jinwoo stepped in. We won't be going that way, he said. Cha paused. Sorry, there's an easier way, but you'll have to stick close to me. Is that okay? She agreed and Jinwoo pulled her closer. In the blink of an eye, he activated Shadow Exchange. And just like that, they vanished. Back at Jinwoo's home, his friend Jin-ho returned from an errand. But instead of a warm welcome, he was met by one of Jinwoo's high orc shadow soldiers. Why don't the two of you have something to eat? Well, he stopped, stunned, as the orc casually snatched the food from his hands and devoured it on the spot. Meanwhile, in a flash, Jinwoo and Cha arrived at the Hunter Association gymnasium. Cha was in disbelief. How? Jinwoo, processing the result of the experiment, thought to himself, it worked just as I suspected. Shadow exchange acts like a gate. If I can transport another person with me, that means I can create an entrance and exit anywhere my shadows exist. With just a shadow soldier as an anchor, I could travel to the other side of the world if I wanted. There's a 3-hour cooldown, but still, it's incredible. Turning back to business, Jinwoo said, Let's begin. Cha paused. I just remembered, I didn't bring my weapon. Oh, you mean that pickaxe? Jinwoo teased. She snapped. That wasn't my weapon. Jinwoo chuckled. I'm just kidding. She assured him she'd be fine. After all, the gym had a storage room for spare weapons. Using her hunter's ID, she accessed it. This is a gym for hunters, she explained. There are always plenty of weapons to choose from. But Jinwoo voiced a concern. You sure you'll be okay with a weapon you're not used to? Cha didn't flinch. Magic beasts don't care whether you're fully prepared or not. With that, Jinwoo summoned Igris, his most skilled swordsman among the Shadow Army. He's the best I've got with a blade, Jinwoo said calmly. Cha asked, How will the winner be decided? The match ends when you either destroy my summoned beast or surrender, he replied. Internally, Jinwoo admitted something. I told her I'd summon my strongest, but Baru would be too much for her. Igris will be enough. Cha took her stance, ready to begin, but Jinwoo had one last thought. Wait, she said it doesn't matter what weapon she uses, right? Could you turn around for a second, he asked. Without questioning it, Cha turned her back, and Jinwoo discreetly pulled the Demon King's longsword from his inventory, arming Igris with a far deadlier blade. All right, let's get started. The battle began. Igris charged, sword slashing through the air with inhuman precision, but Cha moved like a whisper, dodging every blow with uncanny agility. Just as I thought, Jinwoo muttered. She's fast. Any ordinary person would have been cut down instantly. Elsewhere, in the quiet of his office, Chairman Go Gun-hee sat behind his desk, puzzled by the distant echoes of combat. I'm pretty sure no one reserved the gym today, he said. He ordered his assistant to stream the gymnasium's CCTV feed to his office. But when he saw what was happening, he made a surprising request. I'm sorry, but could you turn off all the security cameras in the gymnasium? Pardon? The assistant asked, startled. Just write today off as an inspection day, Go Gun-hee replied with a faint smile. Back in the gym, the clash had reached its peak. Igris was sent flying, smashed against the wall, defeated. Cha, catching her breath, looked at Jinwoo. Are you sure this Black Knight is your strongest? You said you'd summon your best. So do it, now. Jinwoo hesitated. But you could get hurt. Cha's answer was firm. I don't care. I've been wanting a rematch anyway. He looked her in the eye. You saw the beast during the Jeju Island raid, right? Cha nodded. Yes, I saw it in person, and I've watched the footage too. With that confirmation, Jinwoo raised his hand and summoned Beru, the Ant King from the Jeju Island raid. I'm going to ask you one more time, he said solemnly. Are you sure you're okay with this?